John Newton was born in England in 1725. As a young man, he spent much of his life at sea. He was stubborn, rebellious, and far from God. His behavior became so reckless that even other sailors found him difficult to work with. As the years passed, Newton became involved in the slave trade. He worked on ships that carried enslaved Africans across the Atlantic Ocean. He cared more about money and success than about the suffering of others. His heart had grown hard and he lived without any real concern for God. But God was about to change his life in a way he never expected. One night in 1748, while sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, Newton's ship was caught in a terrifying storm. Massive waves crashed against the vessel. The wind howled through the darkness. The crew feared they would not survive. As the ship filled with water, Newton believed he was about to die. In that desperate moment, he cried out to God for mercy. Yet somehow the ship remained afloat. Newton survived. That night became the turning point of his life. For the first time in years, he began seeking God sincerely. He started reading the Bible and gradually understood the depth of God's grace and forgiveness. Over time, Newton abandoned his old way of living. He eventually left the slave trade behind and dedicated his life to serving Christ. Years later, he became a pastor and spent much of his ministry speaking about God's mercy. He never forgot what God had rescued him from. One day, Newton wrote words that would become one of the most famous Christian hymns in history. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. The hymn spread throughout the world and has encouraged millions of believers for generations. Near the end of his life, John Newton said, "My memory is nearly gone, but I remember two things, that I am a great sinner and that Christ is a great Savior." The story of John Newton reminds us that no one is beyond God's grace. No matter how far a person has fallen, God can transform a life and use it for His glory.